Sweet. All right. So opponent is on that Jeff Hoogland um Eldritch Evolution deck, it looks like. And I'm on Lantern. So there's a risky keep here because my only colored source is that opal and I can't even turn it online. But I figure chances are I'll be okay. If all goes well, I have a turn 2 bridge. If not, whatever. So and I don't really need a turn 2 bridge since I have brutality as well. So I can take out whatever small threats. And I have multiple discard here. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. They kept. Yeah. Opponent goes first, and yeah, I'm not sure what they're on, and I top deck a bauble. So now I have Opal online. You know, go ahead and take a look at their hand. The biggest threat here is Eternal Witness, and Oath of Nissa is the second biggest threat. The other one's Bridge takes care of just fine. And Oath of Nissa is they can whiff on it. They actually have a pretty good chance of whiffing on it. So Eternal Witness, however, if they just hold it long enough, then they will not whiff. They will get a card that they want. So my choice here was Witness. Both my opponent makes silly plays here, by the way, in game 2. But anyways, so opponent does all sorts of stuff, getting that landfall with Lotus Cobra, mana, looking at the top 3, and the card they get is Field of Ruin. I could have popped Bauble here, but I was really hoping just to top deck it, and if not, I could just, Stirrings for a land if I need to. And I get a land. Now, one of the other choices was Island, and I was considering it since I knew they had Field of Ruin, because then they can't target Island. But instead, I was like, you know what? If they Field of Ruin my Glimmer Void, that's fine. I can still go get Island. And if they Field of Ruin my Academy Ruins, then I'll have 3 blue for Whir. And because I can go get Island. So I decided to grab the Glimmer Void instead of the Island. And go ahead and kill the Lotus Cobra so they can't do any crazy stuff with landfall and all that. So, yeah, they play out their hand, get ready for attacks. I draw a bridge. I'm like, well, I guess I'm taking 4 damage next turn, whatever. So they get in for 4. They could have gotten in for a little bit more by pumping, but they need to swing under bridge a couple more times if they can. So I look at my top card. Actually, I accidentally look at my top 5 cards. So I let my opponent choose if I'm going to shuffle or not. He says shuffle, so. Top card was a bauble. I don't want the bauble. I want something else. So draw extra, and I grab a Whir. So now, again, I'm going to be stuck with cards in hand because I can't play both Whir and Stirrings. And if I Stirrings, I'm going to have a second card in my hand anyways. What I really want, though, is my opponent has no cards in hand, so I really want a Lantern. I would love to Stirring or Whir for a Lantern, and that will get it for me, but why do that if I can Whir for something else later on? And I'm not too worried about my opponent top decking anything crazy here, because they can't combo off next turn. And whatever they do grab, if I can just Whir for a needle or whatever and shut it off. So I decide to Stirrings first. And there's a Lantern, so I don't have to waste the Whir on the Lantern. I could have also grabbed a needle, that was in there as well. So, and I play a Lantern and I'm going to take another, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage max. And then their top card is dead. So, I'll be fine. Yep. And I'll just go ahead and Whir for now, immediately, and get a needle. And I'll name Field of Ruin so they can't, it shuts off one shuffle effect, so all they got left is the Arid Mesa for shuffle effect. And it shuts off them killing my Academy Ruins. So now I can also self-mill with Bell and get back artifacts if I need. And opponent concedes. So game 2, I bring in, let's see, I side out a bunch of my discard. I do keep in Collective Brutalities though. And I wasn't sure if they were going to bring in Stony Silence, so I didn't bring in any hate for Stony Silence except for Abrupt Decay. I kept that in there just in case. I sided in Torpor Orb. I sided in Jester's Cap because they are like a crazy combo deck. And yeah, and Cage. I sided out my what's the name of that artifact? Mood deck. Where you at? Witchbane Orb. Sided that out, and I sided in a Pithy Needle because I do have crazy little combos going on. And I was not sure what I'm going to do here. I wasn't sure if I should keep, because Glimmer Void's a dead card if I don't draw a low-costing artifact quick. But I was like, I figure I'll just Stirrings on turn 1, grab an artifact, and or land, and then set myself up from there. The only problem is I'm a little bit weak to Stony Silence, but between I have Whir, so if I can Whir for Torpor Orb and then Bridge, I should be okay. So grab a Lantern. And they land Stony Silence. I'm like, well, crap. I go to Pop Bobble here, but of course I forgot about my opponent's Stony Silence. They pointed out for me, though. There's that on top. Unfortunately, I cannot cast Whir with that, but my opponent's clock is super slow. I guess they kept the hand just because of these 3 cards right here. I don't know. Or maybe these 2 cards. I don't remember. But Stony Silence, probably, because of Stony Silence. They probably did not expect Torpor Orb, because all of their top decks are pretty good, except Torpor Orb shuts them all off, pretty much. Yeah, opponent asked if they were good to draw, and I was like, I'm not popping Lantern. So we both made that mistake. It was kind of funny. So go ahead and Brutality that and get a look at their hand, since I'm not going to be using Cap soon anyways. So that'll slow down their clock, and if they have an Eldritch Evolution, I can go ahead and ditch that. They do not. They have a handful of land. They're trying to shuffle their top to get something good. I mean, they're still not doing bad. So they actually helped me out here, the Field of Ruin. That lets me grab my island, so now I can Whir. But they probably did not know that. So there's an Acidic Slime on top. And I knew that their answers for all my cards are probably Enter the Battlefield effects. So again, Torpor Orb works really well here. Opponent was smart in attacking first here, to lure out, like maybe me trying to do crazy stuff here. So I just take the 2, and they hold on to the Acidic Slime. So I go ahead and Whir for the Torpor Orb, since they drew that already. Yeah, between Kiki and Slime, that would have been a bad day. Needle would not solve that, because then they just hold Slime for Needle and then Kiki away. Torpor Orb otherwise, on the other hand. So again, I just hold my Whir, let them go all out. Kiki away, I'll Whir for Bridge. Go ahead and kill Kiki just in case, because if they, have Kasali Pride Mage or something, I don't want them using Kiki to kill stuff. They're trying to shuffle their top. Again, all their stuff is Enter the Battlefield. Torpor Orb shuts it off. So one single Torpor Orb and a Bridge pretty much wins me.